We're glad you could join us yet again on your favorite nautical authoritative, NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. This program is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, the nation's apex promoter and regulator of the maritime industry. And when we talk about the maritime industry in Nigeria, we're talking about all things shipping, maritime labor, the protection of our marine environment, and all of the various seagoing activities, including fishing, dredging, water transportation, to mention a few. And Nigeria is blessed with a coastline stretching well over 853 kilometers, spanning from Badagry in Lagos to Bakassi in Cross River. My name is Ubong Isien, and it's always a pleasure to be your guide on this voyage.
You are watching NIMASA This Week.
NIMASA This Week.
NIMASA This Week.
NIMASA This Week.
It's the voice of maritime.
The voice of maritime.
The voice of maritime.
Please stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. As always on the program, we begin with the Director General's diary. What has Dr. Bashir Jamo been up to in the Nigerian maritime space? You get to find out, as well as our other regulars. So if you're ready, it's anchors away.
Introducing the NIMASA Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and NIMASA will respond. The Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, has commended the founder of the Center of Values and Leadership, Professor Patotomi, for his contributions towards the nation's development. The NIMASA DG made this commendation while delivering a paper on maritime insecurity, state legitimacy, and human progress in Nigeria at the 20th Center for Values and Leadership Annual Lecture and International Leadership Symposium.
Let me start by congratulating my brother and Professor Patotomi for his contributions toward the nation's development. A person of so many colors, a public officer, private sector officer. Congratulations, Prof. We have two institutions that deal with the issue of maritime insecurity. The Nigerian Navy, that deals with the kinetic approach or operations of the maritime insecurity, and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, that seeks to deal with the non-kinetic approach of the maritime insecurity in the country. Maritime insecurity dwell on the issue that concerns transportation or shipping transportation. It emerged from the insurgencies that we continue to experience due to so many factors in the Niger Delta. Such issues concerns restiveness as a result of neglect of communities in the oil region of the Niger Delta. And from there, we continue to see the attack on commercial ships that trade within the areas of Niger Delta, transporting cargoes, and at the same time, we continue to see the emergence of kidnapping of seafarers as well as stealing of cargo, that is products from the ships that are moving towards that area. We have also illegal and unreported, unregulated fishing. We also experience illegal oil bunkering and most recently oil theft. These are the crimes that form or constitute what we call the maritime insecurity.
Jamo stated that corruption and poor governance are the main causes of maritime insecurity.
What are the causes of the maritime insecurity? Most of these causes emanates from neglect as usual. Some of the areas that causes this insecurity include corruption and bad governance, youth unemployment and underdevelopment. When you have youth growing, going to school, becoming difficult, and then for them to have a means of livelihood becoming difficult, the next thing, you know, they will have to indulge in different thinking of what they can do to survive as well as their own family. Weak legislation and inefficient jurisprudence. All these transcend to the maritime insecurity, because the maritime insecurity starts from the land and graduates to the sea.
Dr. Jamo further disclosed that the imposition of the war risk insurance on all Nigerian-bound cargoes was a deadly blow on the economy, as its negative impact on cost of goods is felt by all and sundry.
Today, we are seeing the emergence of the war risk insurance that Nigeria must pay on any inward and outward cargoes, just for the purpose of the insecurity we are experiencing in our own territorial waters. So the loss of national reputation and bad image in the international maritime community, with the Nigeria labeled at the most dangerous waters to trade in. Close to 15 years now, Nigeria, we have been contesting to be part of the Council of the International Maritime Organization. Basically, part of the reasons why we cannot gain that election is because of the challenges that we are experiencing in our own territorial waters as a result of insecurity of our own water. Also, we will now have to begin to experience low port attractiveness, diversion of cargo to other part of the world, particularly Benin Republic, Togo, and Ghana. Most of the cargoes that are bound for Nigeria, it will have to be diverted to neighboring countries where they feel that they are secured and they feel that they are comfortable to trade with. What have we been doing to contain this insecurity? For those children or elderly persons that cannot go to school, we try to introduce what we call skill acquisition centers, whereby if you finish your secondary school, you feel that you don't want to go to higher institution, that is to go and acquire a degree. You will have to go through the skill acquisition center, learn whatever kind of work you want to learn, be it mechanic, be it building, be it tailoring, be it hairdressing and any other things. The Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency built 6 skill acquisition centers in the 6 geopolitical zones. For the younger Nigerians that are not opportune to go to the university and learn, but for those who can go to the university, the agency built 6 maritime training institutions across the 6 geopolitical zones.
The Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, has charged women in the Nigerian maritime industry to take advantage of various opportunities, including the disbursement of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, ship ownership, jetty ownership, among others. The NIMASA helmsman made this known during the celebration of the International Women's Day IWD 2023, which was commemorated at the agency's headquarters in Lagos.
Take, for example, the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, where we have so many men, as at today, struggling to be part of the few resources given to us and appropriate the portion of it to themselves. Women can equally be part and parcel by venturing into the issue of the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund. Women should not only be shy to exploit the participation of major projects in the maritime industry, like establishment of jetties, purchase of vessels, going into the ferry services and other associated services that is related to the industry.
Dr. Jamo charged the NIMASA head of training to come up with various capacity building recommendations tailored towards helping the women in other areas and fields within the limits of the agency's resources.
We want our women to lead and excel in their careers and use technology to enhance the maritime sector. The present head of training is a woman. I expect her to come up with a balanced capacity building recommendation tailored towards helping the women in other areas and fields move with the women, and we shall strive to support you within the limit of the agency's resources. Let me remind you of the words of great woman Sheryl Sternberg, the former second in command at Facebook, where she said, "We need women at all levels, including the top, to change the dynamics, reshape the conversation, to make sure women's voices are heard and heeded, not overlooked and ignored. The world need not just women, but strong women like we have here seated." Gentlemen and ladies, it is my sincere, humble opinion that this agency have gone far to create a level playing ground, as I said earlier. For instance, we were with the president of the World Maritime University late last year, and she confirmed that Nigeria, and indeed this agency, is one of the agencies that we are very, very conscious in terms of gender inclusiveness and gender balance in terms of our sponsorship into the university. And most of the students that they were there, they have excelled greatly in terms of their educational pursuits. Indeed, one of the ladies, called Saratu, was the one that won last year's 2 awards, which placed by the Secretary General International Maritime Organization won Best Thesis Writer of the Year. And then second, the leader among the peers in the whole university, showing that Nigerians women are excelling in whatever or wherever they can do.
The DG further instructed the Administrative and Personal Services Department to organize a concept note on mentoring and the associated costs for approval.
I would like to state that from today, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency will make sure that whatever number we are sending on international long-term training, women must have not less than 2 slots minimum. On the issue of NSDP scholarship, we will never ever dare send NSDP student without taking into consideration 1/4 of women into the sponsorship of the women. The first point I made, I'm making reference to the internal staffs, while the second, external approach. And then finally, I would like to endorse the request or proposal by Mrs. Margaret Orapasi of dedicating a day for mentorship of women into the agency. I would therefore direct that the Admin and Personnel Services Department should sit down and structure a concept note of structuring this mentorship and bring it off with the cost implications for approval.
Speaking earlier, President of Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, Western Nigeria, Mrs. Eunice Ezioke, called for innovative solutions to help women and girls to become entrepreneurs and agents of positive change for resilience.
We must find innovative solutions to help women and girls to unleash their human capital to become leaders, entrepreneurs, and agents of positive change for a resilient, sustainable, inclusive, and green development. The strategic and deliberate engagement of women and girls is key to the development and education, including climate action, economic empowerment, reproductive and sexual health for women and girls, and reduction in child marriages. All these can accelerate gender awareness and the equality for a more balanced and sustainable tomorrow for us all.
Former Director of Special Duties at NIMASA, Hajia Lami Tumaka, who joined the meeting online, noted that embracing equality can only be achievable through training and retraining of women and creation of gender policies.
And as has already been said, celebrating the International Women's Day, we are celebrating the courage, that is the courage of the women, their tenderness and ability to move through life while conquering challenges. And this is quite amazing. Who are we, the women that are being celebrated? We are dreamers, we are believers, we are doers, and we are achievers.
The Secretary General of African Ship Owners Association, Mrs. Fumi Folorunsho, commended the NIMASA DG, Dr. Bashiru Jamo, for ensuring promotion of 4 female directors in NIMASA.
You've done us proud. 4 directors, female, in NIMASA. We're looking around and I'm seeing women in that you groomed here in international space. But DG, you may become the minister, you may become anything, but can I charge you? Groom new faces so that the oracles, the follower shows, they're all over 60, are replaced by the younger generation of women. Groom them, train them, encourage them, and you will have a formidable maritime industry to call upon at any time.
On her part, the chairman of Morbid Group, Barrister Margaret Orakwasi, also commended the NIMASA DG for supporting women in the maritime sector, especially as it concerns individual and collective projects.
He's been so efficient, he has been so humble, he has been a lover for the most vulnerable in the industry, and that is you and I. He's always standing firmly in support of individual projects by women and general. I thank you very much, DG. I have just one request, because the young must grow and they need to be mentored. May I request that in your honor, we have a day set aside in the industry and call it NIMASA Mentor Day or Maritime Mentor Day, to mentor not just our young female ones, but also the men.
The Director of Internal Audit, Mrs. Olamide Odusoya, delivered the seminar paper titled Women Embracing Technology in the 21st Century.
When girls are educated, countries become stronger and more prosperous. If you take a look at the development going on in United Arab Emirates, to be precise, Dubai, you see the women at the front line of innovations, at the front line of inventions. They are at the front line of blockchain technology. And that's why you see so many innovations and inventions coming out of Dubai, because the government of that country or the government of that emirate has ensured that women are well educated. Knowing the importance of women being educated, knowing the effects, the spiral effects, the positive effects, the spillover effects on the society, ensure that women receive the same level of education as the men.
Welcome back. Let's quickly check out some of the nautical conversations making the rounds online. You can continue the conversation with Dr. Bashir Jamo. His Twitter handle is @JamoBashir. You can also extend same to us at NIMASA Official, from Facebook to Twitter to Instagram to LinkedIn and YouTube. We'll be glad to hear what you are thinking. However, when it comes to doing maritime business, this is a good time to join the maritime industry, especially with the coming on stream of the CVFF, yes, the Cabotage Vessel Financing Fund, with all of the prospects of employment in shipping and shipping-related activities within Nigeria's coastal waters. NIMASA as the nation's maritime administration is saddled with the responsibility of regulating the practice of maritime in Nigeria, given the highly sophisticated nature of the shipping business. So it is always advisable that you make the NIMASA official website, currently scrolling on your screen, your first port of call in order not to run foul of any of our laws. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode of the program and that your understanding of what NIMASA is doing to enhance participation in Nigeria's blue economy has indeed increased. And much more than that, we hope you are challenged to consider participating in the maritime sector, because maritime is an all-inclusive domain. There are doctors in the maritime domain, likewise engineers, culinary experts, tourism professionals, the list goes on and on. And with Nigeria's coastal status adjoining the Atlantic Ocean, you can begin to imagine all of the possibilities in Nigeria's blue economy. So till I see you next time, my name remains Ubong Isian and I'm asking you to stay on course. Bye-bye.